Hey everybody, and welcome to another tutorial by Blender Amigos. In this Baghdam, today we're going to be paying a tribute to the Dark Knight Rises, and we'll be doing the insignia of Batman. So as you can see here, this is our final product. So much. This one, so that's a close-up of it. So in preparation for the tutorial, I just need to download two textures from Blender, no, CG textures, and they are, let me just quickly, so they are Grunge Paint 0049M and Metal Bear 00992S. So that's, the metal is for this, the Batman insignia, and the other one is for the background and just some of the, also the metal is here to give it a little bit more variations. So without further ado, you have to just get a reference of that. I'm sure if you look up the Dark Knight Rises, that will come up. There is no problem. So let's start a Blender file, and let's turn on this. So now, firstly, today we're going to be using Bezier curves to make the insignia. So let's firstly change to Blender cycles. I like to change that in the beginning, but it doesn't really matter. Right, so we're going to import our reference image in. So let's go background image. So to make that side pop up, just press N, and background image, tick that and add an image and open, and we'll find our reference picture and we'll import that in. So the default size will do for us. So let's go to front view, and by pressing numpad 1, and we're gonna add Shift A Bezier curve, and we're just gonna align it to view. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna model one side, and then we're gonna copy that side and mirror it on the other side. We won't be using the mirror modifier because after a few experiments I could not get the mirror modifier works in the way that I wanted it to, mainly because I need to fill in as we draw the outline of this. But as we move on, you understand what I'm talking about. So instead of 3D, we're just gonna do 2D because it's not in 3D space, basically just a flat piece of metal. And so we press tab to go into edit mode. We size this down, and then press rotate 45 just to straighten it out, and click. We're gonna make sure that it lines up at that point, so we're gonna snap this right where this 3D cursor is. So if your 3D cursor is all over the place, accidentally press right click, just press Shift S and cursor to center, so snap it straight back to the center. And then what we do is snap this to the cursor, selection to cursor, and we're gonna move it up to there, approximate. It doesn't have to be 100% because we could fix it later. And same thing this side, we're gonna size it down, and we're just gonna move it closer there, and then we're gonna zoom in. You can see there, these are the handles, but of the curve. But you can see if we move one handle, it's kind of moved the entire curve, and when we get to these sharp points, it's gonna be hard to do. So what we do, we select all by pressing A, and we're just gonna go to this side. If you want to get popped up, it's just pressing T, and we're gonna press, so you can see handles type, you got auto, this is what you are on, vector, align, and free. Vector, I won't be explaining some of these so much, but I'm just gonna tell you that we're gonna be using free handles with the free type. So what happened there is if we move one side, the other side is not affected, and that's perfect for when we do the horns of the bat. The ears, sorry, not the horns. So but what we want is actually make this actually size down, okay, because when we mirror on this side, we want this side kind of like the same distance apart, so you get a nice symmetric curve. and then we'll move this approximately there, and we just move this up, and then we press E to extrude to the tip, and then we're just gonna up there, and this one turn down here. Don't worry about making that as perfect at the moment, because we're gonna fix it later when we kind of have the rough outline. It's kind of like sketching. Let me see. No, I think what happened there is alright. So don't have to be too pedantic about it at the moment. So we're just gonna fix all these. So yeah, I went and see Batman the other day with my friends, and the Dark Knight, sorry, and Christopher Nolan doesn't want it to be called Batman except for the first one, because he wants to separate his interpretation from Batman, the Dark Knight from Batman. But it's a pretty awesome movie. For those who has not seen it, I highly recommend it. You will definitely enjoy. Basically, you're gonna most likely enjoy it because it's Batman, Dark Knight, and yeah, it's highly recommend. All right, so what we can see there is pretty much the outlines of our bat insignia. I just gotta fix a few points. Just make sure it doesn't have to be 100%, but if you are a little bit OCD like me sometimes, then spend a little bit of time on it and just fix some of those points. Alright, I think that will do. Just actually I'll move this. Oh yes, and this point here has to be lined up at the middle too. So because I already got it down here, I'm just gonna quickly selection to cursor and then just drag it down again. So that's pretty good. Alright, so we got half a bat, and now let's make a whole bat. Instead of using the mirror modifier, what we'll do is we're gonna copy some of these points and then put it over there. But we don't want to copy these and mirror it, and we don't want to copy this point and that point, okay? Because when we join it together, it's basically gonna do that for us. So let's select all these peripheries point. Don't worry about that one. And we're gonna Shift D, and then it comes out. And now we want to mirror exactly through this 3D cursor. So let's change our selecting type to 3D cursor, or instead of going there, just press period. There we go. So you can see the axis just snap from around here to there. And then we're going to press Control M and X. As you can see, it just snapped over there. And when you press out of edit mode, you can see that it's disconnected here and disconnected here. But because the angles here is symmetrical, when we select the 2 points and press F. Oop. Oh yes. Yes, just press this one. We just gonna move this. Actually, let's do that again. Alright, so we won't copy that point, but we'll copy this one. I'll show you why in a second. Alright, so there we go. So Shift D, Control M, X axis. Alright. And firstly we'll connect this by pressing F. So you can see there it's now connected. Oops. And what we do here with this point, no, I don't have it. Alright, so now we're just gonna line this handle up to there, because you know a little bit OCD, I want kind of perfect, so I kind of do that. That's what we were missing in the first time I tried to do it. And we're gonna delete this, select it, and now if we can select these two and press F, there we go, perfect. So that's pretty much how you kind of like use Bezier Curve to trace out the bad insignia. Now you can see here it's kind of low resolution. It's kind of like daggered here. So what you can do is I think if you go to the Bezier Curve panels here, and if you turn it up, you can see it gets smoother and smoother. I think I left mine at 30. Yep, 30 is pretty good, and just got to put that at 32. Right, so let's make it a lot smoother. I think that should be fine. And yeah, that's pretty much how you model the bad insignia. We'll do some more setup, and then I'm gonna stop the tutorial, and that will be the first part of the tutorial. I'll trying to break my tutorial up so people don't get. I'm a little bit daunted by a long tutorial, so I don't want people to feel the same. So we'll set up the camera. We're gonna clear the rotation by pressing Alt R, and we're gonna clear the location, so it will snap back to the center by pressing Alt J. Perfect. Let's go to side view. Actually, let's get rid of the background image. We don't need that anymore. And rotate it exactly by 90 degrees in the negative direction. And let's get rid of this side, pressing NT. Alright, and then we're just gonna move this back. Move it back a little bit, depending on how big you want the insignia to pop out. And because we're using cycles, we don't really need that lamp. We're gonna delete that lamp. Oh yes, and don't forget to save. I actually forgot there. And you can see I've tried to do it a few times. Right. And then we're just gonna quickly add a plane in. Go into side view and rotate by 90 degrees, and we're just going to move this back a little bit. And then we go to the front view, and we're just gonna size it so it fills up the camera. So size Z to constrain to the axis, and save. Alright, so that's pretty much alright, and we're just gonna do a few more things. Right now it's perfectly flat. We want actually I put that kind of bevel there so we can reflect some lights of it. And what we do is we're going to the curve panel again, and then we just extrude it out 0.05, I think. Oh, too much. 0.02. There we go. So we have a thickness to our bad insignia, and what we do is, we set it to smooth this one. Anyways, sorry about that. What we do is we leave the resolution at 0 at the bevel because we actually want a sharp bevel, and we turn the depth up. I think at 0.01. I think I even use less than that. Oops, sorry, 0.005. No, that's not enough. Just a little bit too thick for me. Let me just. I think it's even useful. Listening to some old Simpson songs. Kinda having. Oh, what's happening there? Alright, sorry about that. 0.07. No, sorry, 0.007. 0.05. I think that will do. Alright, so that's basically the setup done for this. I'll probably set up the lighting too, so when the next tutorial comes, it's just gonna be do texturing and compositing. And what we'll do, we'll add another plane, Oop. We add another plane. Oop. So just move it to the back. And actually, I think I used a circle. Sorry. Let's pop up the tool, object tool, because what we want, when we add a circle, it's not filled, so we're just gonna be firstly filled triangle fan. It doesn't really matter because it's gonna be just our light, and as long as it has a face, that's wonderful. And we're just gonna align to view. Right, and then we're just gonna move it. We do the align to view so we don't have to rotate it and stuff. I use the circle light and because it gives a nicer fade out later. It's just a little tricks in CG, and then we just I think size that. Oh, actually, just leave it, and then we'll move it down a little bit because if you put in the middle, you won't get that kind of darker on the top. So I think when I look at the reference image, it was kind of darker down on the bottom. So okay. So around there, right? And then we'll Shift D to duplicate that, and we'll well, you can see that it's still spinning around the cursor. So to change it so it's at the center of the object, the pivot point, press comma. We'll rotate it by 90 degrees, and then we'll put it around there. So what we want to get is we kind of have 1, 2, 3 land. So this one will shine on here. Give that rim a light and that one there, and then we're just gonna duplicate it on the other side. So approximately there. And if you want to be really pedantic, then you can rotate it by 45 really, but it doesn't really matter. We probably have to fix it later when we see which part we want of the bevel to be shiny. And let's delete that. Alright, now what we do is we Shift D and press period again. So we're gonna mirror this because that didn't work. Wonder why it didn't work. Control X. Okay, it might not be covered. That's alright. What we do, we just rotate it by 180 degrees. Doesn't have to be perfect, but if you want to line that up, there we go. And let's give it a quick view, see what it looks like. Right, so right now it's pretty dark because these are not lamps yet. So we just go to the material and go rim light, and then we change diffuse to emission, and we'll change and then what we do, we select the other 5s and then select this one, and then Control L and Control L, so we'll copy the material to all the others. So now if we go to render, all of them are shining, so you can see a little bit of the rim and the background's kind of lit up. So later we'll probably have to move this back a little bit. We'll turn the lights up, and we'll move this away. Don't have to be too pedantic about that, and we'll just add this in our light because I kind of use this one as a different color. This is called key, and we'll go emission 5 again, and just tinge of blue. Alright, and let's see that now. Alright, so that's looking okay at the moment. You can't really see anything. But I'll stop it there. It's already 20 minutes. And then the next part, we're just gonna be doing the texturing of the insignia in the background. Alright guys, stay tuned for the next part.